for the first session is Mr. Eustace Kiarie from Kowan. I hope I'm right on that one, from Kowan. Hebu tumkaribishe bwana Kiarie kwa makofi. Makofi natoshana na Kiarie tafadhali. Thank you, welcome, and take over.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Yeah, you look great. Now, do you know that your first wealth is your health? Wangapi wanajua hivyo? That your first wealth is your health. You may have money, you may have material things, but you cannot enjoy them unless you are healthy. Today, this morning, we are going to discuss exactly that. How indigenous foods contribute to our nutrition, to our health, and to our wealth. And to do that, we are going to have two short presentations, and then we'll have a panel discussion where we'll have panelists discussing this topic from different perspectives. And without much ado, I want to invite the first presenter, who is Sylvia Kuria of Sylvia Basket. Sylvia Kuria has been trading or marketing organic products for quite a while, and she will share with us her journey, her motivations, and a call to action, what we need to do to have more of these indigenous foods available in our markets. Karibu, Madam Kuria.
Okay, thank you very much. Maybe if I can get help with my presentation, I would appreciate it. So in the meantime, as they're trying to bring it up, as you've been told, my name is Sylvia Kuria, and I'm a small-scale organic farmer from Deya, which is in Kiambu. That is the semi-arid area of Kiambu. Many people don't really know that Kiambu or Limuru has a very dry area. So we've been farming in Kiambu for the past about 14 years. And since 2016, we decided to go into business and actually start, selling our organic produce. So I've been farming organically maybe for about 13 to 14 years. Started off as a small kitchen garden, just wanting to grow food for my family. And with time, then we're able to expand. Oh, perfect, so it's there. So I want to share with you about our retail journey. And why I find this topic very important is because many of us are in this field. I think there's still some feedback. Okay, so many of us are in this organic field, but very few of us are actually trading. Very few of us are actually in the business line, which is really needed. We always focus on the first end of the value chain, which is production. But then when it comes to, the other parts of the value chain, which, are, even things like logistics, input provision, which has now getting a bit more support, and also just thinking, these farmers that we have trained over the years, where will they get their produce? These consumers that we have, talked to and told that they have to eat organic, where will they be able to access the organic produce? So we saw that there was a very huge gap in regards to being able to make sure that there are businesses that are running the organic sector. So we started a business in 2016. Maybe you can go to the next slide. Next slide, please. Excuse me, the team at the back, if you can go to the next slide. You need to, yes, go back, the second slide, yeah. The mission, you've gone, go to our mission, kindly. Okay, so we basically started, sorry. So we basically started the business in 2016, and for me, the reason that made me actually go into business was because I was very frustrated, having very nice organic produce and not being able to access markets. And number two, I actually felt that that time I was a young mom, I still am a young mother, but then I was a much younger mother. And you know how it is when you have a baby. You want to make sure that you give your baby the best, especially when you're weaning and starting out the child. And for me, I just felt that many mothers like me and many consumers would also want to be able to access organic produce. So our mission is basically to make the food accessible. Of course, when you think about the word accessible, it has many things in there like affordability, convenience, that you can actually be able to get this food available. And also, being a smallholder farmer, I really struggled to actually break through the market and being able to actually cut a niche for ourselves. So for us, we want to be able to work with many smallholder farmers to promote agroecology. And actually, most of the farmers who provide produce to Sylvia's Basket are farmers even with half an acre. We actually work with farmers with very, very small parcels of land to make sure they can access markets. Next, please. So we started with the home delivery model. And this is basically being able to put everything that we have on the farm and selling to our friends and family in Nairobi. So I started with 5 friends and family who used to buy from me every single week. And after that, we decided now that, it's good for us to expand. But even the home delivery model took quite some time to pick up, especially before COVID. Because, we're the kind of Kenyans, you have to touch every avocado. Cindy, you must touch the avocado before you buy it, yeah? They have to touch every avocado, every tomato, everything before you bring it. So we still had to grow the trust in people that, whatever we say we're going to give to you, we will do it. So we did a home delivery model from 2014 to 2019, just putting produce in my boot and going around the different towns, like delivering. Okay, next, please. So in 2019, we opened our retail shop in Nairobi. And when we started off, by the way, we were very excited. And the thing about it is we started thinking that everyone is going to come. Everybody is going to buy. We have a very good product. But shock on us, that's not what it was. We found that there are huge gaps with consumer education. And for us entrepreneurs, you find that I am like one person in all. So basically, I'm the person who has to produce the food. I have to be able to transport it. I have to figure out the market. I have to educate the consumer. I have to do every single thing to make sure I've even sold you 1 kilo of organic tomatoes or onions. It's very hectic. And we found that, we really have to see how we can actually support and bring up more retail shops. Over the years, we've been having organic markets, the weekly organic markets, which work very well. But we've also found that consumers want to be able to access this produce every single day at their convenience. That's why when you see our hashtag is fresh, healthy, and convenient. We want to be able to sell, because one of the things we are selling is actually convenience. We want, when someone wants to be able to eat organic produce, they should go to Instagram. By the way, please like my Instagram page, Sylvia's Basket, and Facebook. You can also follow me on Twitter at @Courier_Sylvia. So we found that we have to be able to sell convenience. If someone wants to eat organic, they just need to go to Instagram or wherever, order and have it done. That's why we decided that the retail model is the one that is going to work for us. So I just want to give a quick something that happened to us in 2020. So we started up the shop in November 2019, and by February we were running losses. We were not able to sell. The shop was not making any money. And I can say COVID came to save our lives because everybody was locked down. Nobody could come out. People were so afraid about their health. Everyone wanted to have lemons, honey, and what else was going? Lemons, honey, ginger, yes. I know we have Fred Odhiambo somewhere around here. He's a ginger farmer. Yeah, he's here. Yeah, so we have Fred. He made a lot of money during COVID. And we have to change our mindset in how we do retail business. So for us, 90% of all our customers have no idea where my shop is. They find us online and they buy. So we have to change our model of retail. We can't do it the way we used to do it before. Now people actually want to buy online, and they prefer home delivery because it's very convenient for them. You just put an order, in 2 hours you have your produce. So so we actually opened our second branch this week in Syokimau, though I'm being told it could be Mlolongo, but we opened in Syokimau, and we have our first branch on Gitanga Road. So now we have 2 branches. I'm sure, you know, I have many people here to advertise for me. So when you walk out of here, please tell people that you know Sylvia's Basket is on Gitanga Road, and we are also in Syokimau, making sure that many Kenyans can be able to access safe, affordable produce. Next, please. Okay, I promised Kiari I'll be here 10 minutes. I'm trying my best. I'll try my best. I'm almost done. So we work with smallholder organic farmers, as I mentioned. You can see them in the pictures. You know, we work very closely. We work very closely with COAN, you know, through their PGS groups, and we actually target the smallholder farmers, because the gap we found was that you have a farmer who has a kitchen garden. That kitchen garden has 30 cabbages, but the farmer is not able to eat all of them at a go, say for example, but nobody will buy from them. So we actually come in to fill that gap to make sure that even the smallholder farmers are actually able to access markets. We have logistic partners. We work with different organizations. I've mentioned COAN. We work with BVAT. We work with PELAM. Through their field officers, they actually help us to aggregate the produce and then bring it down to our shop. Right now, we're actually buying, I checked the list on Monday, we're actually buying produce from 39 small-scale farmers from all over Kenya. We have farmers all the way from Shimba Hills in Mombasa to Busia and Bungoma and Mount Elgon and Moranga and Western Kenya, all over. We are working with those smallholder farmers and want to be able to actually ask us that, can we still, you know, can we please encourage farmers that there are markets for organic produce, and let's work together to make sure that we're able to grow the sector. Next, please. So, there's a campaign that has been going around by AFSA, and they even have a book, My Food is African. That's one thing that I have really loved and enjoyed, you know. And for us as a brand, as Sylvia's Basket, we have actually committed to be the brand that is going to promote organic indigenous food. And we really work with our farmers. I'll give you a quick story. I have a farmer in Mount Elgon. I asked him to send me some produce, and he said he doesn't have anything. I told him it's not possible. Mount Elgon is normally so good. You have a lot of rain and there's a lot of produce. So I kept pushing and asking him, tell me, what do you have? What do you have? Eventually he said, okay, I have an avocado tree here, the indigenous avocados. I have some sorghum. I have some millet. I have sweet potatoes. I have cassava. I asked him, isn't that food? He said, lakini watu wa Nairobi ukweli watakula hiyo, you know. And that is actually showing that we need to change our mindset. We have taught the farmers not to grow our own local indigenous foods because nobody is going to eat them. Even I have some customers, you know, we normally have amaranth. You know, there's an amaranth that's purple, like purplish red. Some people would not eat it because they'll say, ati watoto wamekata, ati the children have refused. What are we doing to ourselves? We have to promote our local food. And if we don't promote our local indigenous foods, we'll actually lose who we are as Africans. We'll lose the core of who we actually are and what we stand for. And for us, Sylvia's Basket is actually promoting our indigenous foods. We're getting to a place whereby if I don't have indigenous vegetables, nobody will buy anything else. People just call and they give lots of orders for the indigenous leafy greens. And we also are promoting our local foods. We have Dr. Mokaya here who is supplying us with matoke from Kisii, very nice. And you know, we have other farmers who are giving us produce from all over, but we always tell the farmers, number one, we ask them, what indigenous produce do you have? We normally focus and we are growing the brand. One day, you'll find Sylvia's Basket will be the largest brand in Africa, actually promoting our local indigenous foods. And we just try to promote them. Like right now, we are really struggling with sorghum and millet. I'll ask a quick question. When was the last time any of us, now you'll say yes because of the show, but I wanted to find out the last time we prepared the sorghum, millet, and cassava ugali in our homes, be honest, not the one you eat over here. Look, we are only how many? 2. We are only 2 of us will not grow sorghum because when we bring it to the shop, nobody will buy. There's a time I got very nice cassava flour from our Biovision farmers in Busia. Do you know the cassava flour we begged people to buy and asked people, please, it all starts with us. Anyone within a earshot of me, please, when you leave this room, make a conscious decision and say, when I leave here, I'm going to focus on buying, on producing, and consuming our own local indigenous foods. And when you do that, you're actually going to support the farmers. One quick thing I want to say about our local food. Don't you know that our local food is nutrient dense? It's so nutritious. Number 2, it's able to withstand, like the effects of climate change. Like now in Deya, where I'm from, we are trying to get people to grow sorghum and millet and telling them, forget the maize, it's not working. Grow sorghum, grow millet. Now we are focusing on pearl millet, which is more drought resistant and is able to grow very well there. Next, please. This is a quick one. I cannot talk about what we're doing without the Kilimo High Mark. The Kilimo High Mark is the PGS certification for organic produce, and that is what we're working with to actually make sure our local farmers are certified. If you want any support with that, we have Coan here, we have Pelam, Bivat, they'll always be able to support us with this. And to make sure that farmers are able to get the Kilimo High Mark, there's a lot of support for farmers to work in groups. Because now you see third-party certification is normally very difficult for farmers. Kilimo High Mark is very accessible, and that's what we're actually using to make sure that we can actually promote it. This picture I took at SAT, organic shop in Morogoro in Tanzania. But if you come to our shop, you'll find a very big Kilimo High Mark promoting organic in the region. So I'm just ending by saying that I've already talked about this, but I want us to mainstream indigenous foods in the value chain. I want us to actually go back and think about the programs that we're working on. Ask yourself, where are our indigenous foods featuring in? Kindly. Is wonderful, because we always say that the only chance we have left is agroecology. But I want to ask yourselves, are we mainstreaming indigenous foods in our value chains? Is it something that is, we've left to a few organizations like ICE? I don't know who else is doing this work, but there are very few organizations that are working on it, and Biogi and GBAC. But are we really working hard to make sure that every part of the value chain we are working on is mainstreaming indigenous foods? Not eating cassava, the cassava millet and sorghum ugali is because we don't know how to prepare it. Like I remember, I'm from Western Kenya originally, but married to Central Kenya. And I remember when I first got married, one of the things I used to really pester my mother-in-law is to teach me how to cook all the Kikuyu indigenous foods, and she'd wonder, why are you so, but I told her, we cannot let this culture die down. We cannot let, our fathers and forefathers go with the knowledge on how to cook our own local indigenous foods. That our children will refuse. But if you come to my house, and my children come from school and they're very hungry, they're going to find brown ugali and mrenda. The store and find nothing else. They will not die of hunger. They're going to sit down and they're going to swallow everything that is offered to them. And I've got to a point whereby when my children, I think it was just like about 2 years ago, the first time they ate the white ugali, they were like, it is so tasteless, because I've never offered it to them. So let's learn how to cook, let's offer it to our children, and let's keep our indigenous foods with us. Thank you very much.
Let's appreciate Sylvia better. Thank you very much, Sylvia, for the good discussion and also sharing with us your inspirational story and also challenging us. And it starts. Yeah, I was saying thank you very much for inspiring us with your story and also challenging us that it needs to start with us, and also start by learning how to cook our indigenous foods and changing our mindset towards them. Without much ado, I want to welcome the second presenter, who is Dr. Harun Waroe. Dr. Harun Waroe works for HBS, which is an organization under the program of Root to Food. And he has done quite some work, or Root to Food has done some work on pesticides. And he is going to talk to us about food safety in the lens of pesticides. Thank you. Karibu, Bwana Waroe.
Good morning. As introduced, my name is Harun, and I'll be taking you through a perspective of food safety, which resonates with what Sylvia has talked to us. And you'll all agree with me that food safety is a very key element when we are thinking about what we eat. From the lens of health, Sylvia has talked about nutrient-dense food. And as we talk about the nutritional element, we also need to consider about the safetiness of what we take or consume. Let's proceed, please. Now, food safety as a pressing agenda in this country. And we all agree that when we take food that is contaminated, it has implication on our health. And what we are saying here is that beyond those implications, food safety clearly shows that we can also have significant economic impact at the household or individual levels, and also as a country as a whole. Let's proceed. Very important is the element of how we use pesticides in this country and how this translates to food safety. I very sincerely understand that this is a very contentious issue. It's quite hot, and of late, as a Root to Food initiative, we have been bashed. And would like to say that there's a clear need of realizing a balance between trapping or harnessing the benefits of our pesticides use in agriculture, while going against or mitigating the risks that are associated with the safety of our food. And it's not a simple matter. We truly, truly appreciate and agree that it's not that simple. It's a complex element that we, as the Root to Food initiative, would like to address from a multi-pronged area that brings along all the key actors. Next slide. Now, I would like to reiterate, as the Root to Food initiative, our concern is the highly hazardous pesticides. And we promoted and supported a report that has brought the heat you are seeing in the papers and around the different actors. And the report is about the highly hazardous pesticides used in this country, whereby we had analysis of data, quite empirical data from the market back in 2020. And it's on the HHP's use, and it provides key insights on the most commonly used and most toxic pesticides in this country. We were able to realize that we have got around 110 products, and out of 6% of the total volume utilized in this country. Majority of the top 30 products are HHPs, indicating that farmers predominantly in this country are using HHPs. How are we categorizing that bracket of HHPs? And these, according to HWO, are pesticides that are being categorized as having high levels. Just to mention a few is that these HHPs whereby we have got the insecticides, we have got the herbicides, we have got the fungicides. I would like to take this opportunity, of course, also to thank PCPB for the recent withdrawal of 7 active ingredients